Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you didn't know, I love things that smell great. I love perfume, I love home fragrance and all that fun stuff. But I was tagged by my friend Ramona to do this wax chat tag. Why did I start my channel, how it's developed and grown, and where I might see it in the future. So I apologize. I decided not to write anything down because I will get into way too much detail. I know that of myself, and I know that I will be like, oh my gosh, and like 45 minutes later, I'll be like, yeah, I should have probably stopped talking a while ago. I want to tell you guys a little story, a little bit about me and my experience through candles, wax melts, friendships within the wax community, and all that fun stuff. So definitely grab yourself a drink. So I loved candles. My mom, since I was a kid, knows I've loved makeup and candles all my life. Anything that smells good, perfume, body care. I mean, she saw it when I was a kid. But, you know, I finally got my first grown-up job and, you know, paid off my student loans and all that. And then I finally found myself in a good financial position to be able to spend a little bit more money on items that maybe I wasn't able to before, after, you know, pay off all those loans, get myself a new car so I can go to work reliably. And I remember loving candles, burning them, you know, not to a crazy extent, but I would burn a candle. I loved it. I would go into Bath and Body Works or Winners, Home Goods, that kind of thing, and just sniff. I knew what I liked. That's the big thing. I knew what I liked, and more importantly, I knew what I didn't like. Just like relationships, you should always remember that. But anyway, with that being said, I had been watching this thing called YouTube. I had a cell phone. It was like an iPhone 3. And I mean, we're talking about old school, iPhone 3. And I remember starting to find out about YouTube, and I was going down the rabbit hole of just Googling candle review. And there was a bunch of people, and I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to get into drama here, but there was a few people I started following at the very beginning in 2014, I want to say. And I found myself understanding what they were saying. And I found myself wanting to have my own comments on some of those fragrances that they were reviewing on candles from Bath and Body Works, mostly some Yankee and things like that. I can't get Yankee as much up here in Canada, but I could relate to the candles that they were reviewing from Bath and Body Works. But I would always have my own take on it. Like, I bought the same candle, I have the same candle. I'm like, but I get this out of it when I'd be watching it. I'm like, you know what? I feel like there's not enough of us at that time in 2014. There weren't a lot of candle reviewers back in 2014. So I really wanted to put my own spin on things and to offer my take on certain fragrances and what I got from them. And I felt like certain things, like when you burn a candle, you should never have to foil it to make it burn better. I was determined that if I was going to do a candle review, it was going to be a review from top to bottom, unaided, because, like, you know, I didn't want to put up a smoke and mirrors. Like, I want to tell you what it was like. I wanted to show you that it was poor, that maybe or it was really good, and maybe it was wonderful and the throw was great, and I got a great throw. I started my channel in July 25th or 24th of 2015. I was living on my own with Miss Willow, who I miss so much every day. My little kitty cat, my best pal, my bestie. I miss her so much. I might cry. Anyway, I was a firefighter, a volunteer firefighter, so I had a pager that would go off all throughout the day and night. But also I worked full time for the federal government in a police station. So with that being said, I didn't have a lot of time, but I really wanted to, you know, especially those colder months, I just wanted something to do. I just can't sit still. So waiting for my pager to go off at God knows what time in the day or in the night, I would do videos in between. And back in the day, I didn't know how to edit. So it was like if my pager went off, I had to go back and redo the whole video. Just fun things like that. I wanted to show you guys like what I was buying and how it was burning. And my collection started growing and growing. And I became really good friends with my friend Brita, who's the Bath and Body Works manager at the Bath and Body Works nearest to myself at the time. And so I would see her almost on a weekly basis, and she would tell me when new things would come in, and I'd be right up to that store getting the new things, getting the coupons. I have purchased so many candles to a point where I had a lot of candles at one point, and I was like, I need to start burning it. But through this time, I created a lot of friendship. I lost a lot of friends, on my choice, I left a lot of people who I thought were very toxic. And I still can't believe that they are so popular. Their heads are gonna like not fit through a doorway, even if the door is the biggest door you've ever seen in your life. But yeah, they have a lot of followers still. And yeah, I wasn't about that. I'm not going into the details, but I was very happy to get out of many of those positions, in the sense of being people's admins, seeing the true story, true color, not agreeing with how people are treated or responded to. I think that there is tact, and I think there's a lot of tactless people out there. And yeah, anyway, there's that. But then you also meet an amazing friend. So not only did I meet my friend Brita, who's the manager at the Bath & Body Works closest to me at the time, but I also met my friend Ramona online. Tanya. I never met Tanya. She's from, I think she was near Jacksonville, or she still could be. But she gave me my first vendor wax box it arrived literally like the day before Christmas. And I remember opening it on Christmas Eve in my pajamas, and I've never smelled anything but candles before, which are lovely, but I'd never heard of vendor wax. And I had to learn that whole thing all over again. Like all the jargon that comes with a whole new way of searching for non-candles. Wow, blew me over. Like it was the amazing, there was Bathing Garden, Vintage Chic Scents, like everybody, Hayden Rowe, there was everybody, all the vendors in that particular box. I went through that sparingly because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to get it again. And then I got hooked. But through that, you get chatting with people on your channel, you develop great friendships. And I'll go back to Ramona. So on top of the fact that we chatted quite often, Ramona, anytime I hit a landmark, like 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, she would send me a beautiful gift. And it was, I remember going to my post office box, and she'd mentioned it in her video as well, and how she'd sent me my favorite candle, which was from DW Home, peppermint bark. I only burn that when I set my tree up each Christmas, like when we set up our whole decorating night. And it was very hard to find here in Canada, still is to this day, very hard for me to find. She sent me a couple. They were short, squat ones. They were very round and shorter. They were probably the best burning of all the different styles of those candles from DW Home. They were really good. So through that, we've just developed such a great friendship. I've met so many of you in person, or we're friends on the outside, like through phone calls, texting, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I'm not friends with everybody. I'm not going to invite everyone to my personal Facebook page at this point, but I loved it. My channel was really, really lovely. People were great. Of course, I had the trolls every once in a while. I remember George Washington. George Washington was quite the troll, but I laugh about it because you got to remember, I have very, very thick skin. Not only did I work in a police office, I was an auxiliary constable with RCMP, as well as I was a female guard for a cell block. I've been called everything under the book. If you don't even know who I am, I'm not offended, because guess what? I just don't care. I've seen fewer and fewer of those types of comments, which is lovely. So thanks, George Washington. That was great. But I just remember the name, and remember it was like a candle. Anyway, it was the weirdest thing, but I think that person was such a troll. It was like my first time with trolls. They were so much fun. With trolls also comes amazing friendships. And again, going over to Houston, flying out to Houston to meet Ramona for the very first time. Of course, I've seen her on her channel. We talked on the phone quite a few times, but I was like, it was April of 2019 that I flew out to meet her. First time we ever met in person was her picking me up at the airport. A dang near walked right past her, didn't even see her, and she's like, hello. I'm like, what a blast. And we had such a great time. It felt like we've known each other for years. And what's really nice about having a fragrance like wax candle channel is that there's, as you know, there are very few people in our lives that can relate to our love of smelling good, our home smelling great, candles, how they burn, puny wick syndrome, all that stuff, tunneling, you know what I'm talking about. So not many people would look at you and not like, just look at you sideways like, what is your problem? With that being said, that's why we find our friends through the things that we love. Ramona was absolutely amazing. What a beautiful host. We had such a great time. And on that trip, not only did I get to go to Houston and visit where she was from and meet her kitty cats, but we also did what we call the Texas Triangle. We drove between Houston to Dallas, where we met another one of our friends who used to have a YouTube channel, but no longer shares on YouTube, but she's showing a little bit more on Instagram when it comes to personal fragrance. So anyway, Shar, I hope you're doing well. And then we visited with Shar for a bit, and then we went from Dallas down to San Antonio, which we met one of Ramona's friends who worked at a Bath and Body Works, I think, down there. But my friend Sarah, which now we're all of us are friends, and it was just so nice to meet up with everybody. And Sarah is Things I Love 86. You're so young, girl. But yeah, so it was so wonderful. And Sarah also had a channel. She was the one who kind of got me started on chopping up my loaves, or just chopping, because she had most relaxing, and Ramona said the same thing, the most relaxing, most calming videos when it came to chopping wax and loaves, if you were buying loaves. And sometimes I was finding myself buying loaves of things, and I'm like, I don't really, like, I like it, but I don't need a whole loaf, but I really want to chop. Like, it's insane, because Sarah makes it look so good and so relaxing, and your microwave smells so good, and your home smells amazing. Anyway, it's been so wonderful, and I've met so many of you guys on the side, become friends with people, communicated. Amy, Susan Fitzpatrick, all of you guys, I absolutely adore. But through this time, which was very interesting, my channel was still very reasonable, very like 2,000, 2,500 people. I loved it. It was great. And I was getting loads of views, like say a wax melt, or like, what is it? A melting basket video would get like 800 views out of my 200 or 2,500 subscribers. And now I just posted a wax melting video, my basket, for May. 80 or 90 people have watched it. It's the strangest thing, and yet my subscription count has gone more than double. So I'm like, I don't understand. So I don't know with TikTok, this era of TikTok, I don't really know how YouTube is doing it, or how they're pushing out SEO, blah, blah, blah. All that fun stuff that if you're a YouTuber, you'd understand. It's just frustrating. Patricia. Okay, so when I moved I met my husband, and we got posted out from Vancouver Island to Nova Scotia, Canada, to Halifax specifically. And then Patricia, oh, sorry, my light just went off. But Patricia, NosetoToes, she had a huge wax channel. It's quite huge now, like massive. Like I think she's got almost on her way up to 6,000 subscribers. She does a lot of Scentsy, but she does a lot of other hauling, reviewing of non-Scentsy wax melts and candles. And we got talking. And then when she found out I moved to Nova Scotia, I met up with her. And then Ramona moved back in the summer of 2021. And the three of us were like the three amigos. It was wonderful. And a lot of you guys have probably followed each other, from each other's channel when we do lives. And, again, it's those girls, those ladies, those women, lovers of candles and wax melts and all things that smell great. They will always be my friends. They will always be there. In fact, I get to have a wine chat with Ramona tomorrow. I'm super excited. I don't even know when this is going up. I'm telling you, I'm having wine. I'm chatting with Ramona tomorrow. And I haven't talked to her like physically since we moved back in July of 2022. So, and right now it's May. It's been a while. But anyway, you guys, the friendships and bonds that I have made me continue doing my channel. I enjoy doing my channel. What I become frustrated with is how much effort and work we do to produce a video. And when I compare the numbers that I used to have and how many people used to watch versus now, it's quite alarming. Like, I'm like, does anybody even want to watch my videos anymore? Literally 90 people have watched my May's wax melt basket. So with that said, I'm like, okay. But I mean, I've branched out other places. Like, I love personal fragrance. I love perfume. I'm going to share with you. I'm still going to do the videos. I enjoy these videos. I enjoy talking to you, sharing, basically commenting with you guys, answering any questions you might have. A lot of you guys have helped me through really hard times as well. I really appreciate all of you. So it's a community. At the end of the day, what we do, either we create a video, or you're watching, you're commenting, you're liking, you're subscribing. you're part of a community and it's small, and I like that. And I love how we can talk to each other about things, again, that our spouses or family members, kids, what have you, will just look at you and snark and go, there's a candle. Why do you have 5 candles burning? Well, the rest of us totally understand you need something in every room. But with that being said, I really loved how my obsession has evolved from candles to wax melts. I still love candles, but I find that they're quite a bit more work. There's a little bit more babysitting involved with candles than there is for wax melts. I don't go overboard when it comes to warmers. I have one right here. I have a warmer kind of in every section of the house. But as far as candles are concerned, I have 3 that go on at my home. And I only light them in the mornings before I put wax melts out, because otherwise they compete with each other, you know? I would say I'm a 70-30 split when it comes to wax melt versus candles. As far as purchasing, burning, melting, all that fun stuff, there's definitely a 70% of me who is definitely a melter and 30% that is a burner at this point. But I still love it. Anything that smells good. What I become frustrated with, of course, is places like Bath and Body Works, where the prices just keep going insane, and yet the quality is going downhill. The sales aren't as good anymore. I don't feel like I can use those coupons like I used to and like really get a good deal, especially being in Canada. I don't feel like we have as many like coupons and deals as our American friends and family down there have. So with that being said, that's been really frustrating. It's been sad to see some of the vendors for wax melts that I, obviously have been a part of for years, change everything they do constantly, or go out of business. And I've seen quite a few go out of business, one of which is going to be going out of business, but gave us a 1-year warning. That's Vintage Chic Scents, or VCS. And that very first box, and Ramona has sent me so many wax pieces, by the way. You guys, a lot of you have. But I should mention that Ramona, on top of those candles, she has sent me like a box full of wax, which was amazing. But VCS was always in one of those boxes. Same with Tanya, the very first package I ever received from anybody. I had VCS or Vintage Chic Scents, and unfortunately they're just gonna, times change, and they've decided that 2023 will be the last year that they will be producing wax. And with that being said, I'm definitely buying more in bulk of my absolute favorite scents. And yeah, I know my collection for VCS will get quite large, but then that will be it. Once it's gone, it's gone. So the evolution of everything has changed so much. The quality of everything has changed. Business practices have changed. Drama channels, or just drama within the candle and wax community as a whole, is exhausting. You notice probably I don't talk about it. I don't make comments on it, because you know what? It's wax. I have way more important things to think about and deal with in life than all that drama. But do I like to watch it? It's great, especially when you're not part of it. I know I've probably forgotten a few people, forgotten to say people's names. I apologize. I'm literally just doing this off the cuff, and I really wanted to do this as I was tagged. So I don't know who I want to tag. I think Amy, I think Patricia, because I don't recall you being tagged. And I think that Sarah from Things I Love 86, if you were willing to do one more wax video, I would love to hear a life update from you while you're, just showing us your wax, or if you got something to chop up. I would love to hear that from Sarah as well. So I would love to see those 3 continue this tag, and I will tag them in this video as well. All right, you guys, so that's everything. If you have any questions, I know I've missed a lot, but if you have any questions about anything, it's 2015, it's 8 years, almost 8 years actually that I've been doing this. It's been a long, long time, but I enjoy it. I will not stop doing it, even though no one watches it Apparently no one watches, it's just me. Anyway, but yeah, I love it. And of course, my house always smells wonderful. Everyone always comments when they walk in, no matter where I've lived, how much it smells amazing. And I just happen to agree with them. With that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell for further uploads. As always, you guys, be safe, take care, and have fun. Bye, guys.